Thank you very much. It's good to have you guys again on this Biashara Tuesday. Today we want to talk about consumer protection, consumer rights. What are the rights of a consumer? And I'm here today with the CEO of the Kenya Consumer Protection Advisory Committee. The Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development, under the State Department of Trade and Enterprise Development, has an agency known as KECOPAC. KECOPAC stands for the Kenya Consumer Protection and Advisory Committee. One of our colleagues heads that agency. She's here on set with me today. She's called Ms. Redempta Oyeyo. Madam Redempta Oyeyo is the CEO of the outfit that has been running for a while now. So I will introduce Madam Redempta. Madam Redempta, welcome to Biashara Tuesday conversation. This is a conversation we have every Tuesday with your fellow colleagues, your fellow CEOs, because we want to explain to Kenyans what it is we do for them as government and as an industry, how it is that we are supporting businesses. And so we are glad to have you today. So introduce yourself. Tell us about KECOPAC as we start.
Thank you, CS. Thank you, and thank you for inviting us to talk about what we do for the government, for Kenyans, and for consumers in particular.
Yes.
Yeah, like CS mentioned, my name is Redempta Oyeyo. I'm the CEO Kenya Consumer Protection Advisory Committee, or KECOPAC, as it's referred to in short. So it is a government institution under the State Department of Trade, Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development. Like CS said, it was created about 7 years ago, 2013, maybe 8 years ago. And the main mandate of the KECOPAC is to protect, to promote and advance the social and economic welfare of consumers in this country. Maybe I'll just give a little background on why KECOPAC was created. I said it was created about 8 years ago. 2013 would be 8 years. When the Constitution of Kenya 2010 was promulgated, Article 46 acknowledged that a consumer has basic rights and they must be protected. And these rights include the right to be heard, so that the consumer has the right to be heard about the plans or programs and decisions which affect them. They have a right to choice, so that whatever is being sold to them in terms of products or services, they can choose a variety of things. They have a right to safety. Whatever they are buying is healthy and is safe for them to use. They have a right to be informed, so that they have all the information that they require to make an informed decision before they buy, whether it is goods or services. And finally, they have a right to redress, to be compensated in case they are not satisfied with the goods or the services that they have received. So at that time, therefore, it was realized that this was lacking, even though we had a lot of consumer protection laws, like the competition law, the communication law, the standards law, the weights and measures law. The government realized that consumers are vulnerable to traders, and therefore the reason why the Consumer Protection Act was enacted in 2013, and that is the act that therefore created the KECOPAC, Kenya Consumer Protection Advisory Committee. So basically, our responsibility can really be summed up in the sense that we take care of the interests of the consumers against unfair trade, against exploitation by service providers or people who give who sell to them the goods, because the government realized that they are vulnerable to these traders. Yeah.
Thank you, Redemptor. Someone else I saw on Twitter, actually, the first question that was asked is, who are consumers in this case? Because they were saying everybody's a consumer, including government. So, so maybe break it down for our audience, because not all the people in the audience are able to understand who consumer is in this particular circumstance. Who do we refer to as a consumer?
Yeah, see, as a consumer is that person who would be going out to buy a good or a service to use it in whatever way they want to use it.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would be wrong to say, as long as you're buying a good or a service, for whatever reason you are going to use it for, you are a consumer.
Good.
Yeah.
Essentially, what we are saying here, for those of us who are in the audience, or listening, if you purchase a shoe polish, you are a consumer of that shoe polish. If you go to have your shoe polished by a shoe shiner,
you are a consumer.
You are a consumer of the service of that shoe shiner. And us, as a ministry, through the agency headed by Madam Redemptor, is to ensure that as a consumer of either the polish as a product or the shining as a service, you are protected. And then that's aims for the competition authority. Others confuse it for many other things. Particularly the confusion between it and the competition authority of Kenya. What do you have to say? How do we differentiate the mandate of these two organizations?
Thank you, CS. Yeah, I know a number of people confuse those two. But competition authority has the mandate of promoting and safeguarding competition in the national economy, and to protect consumers from unfair and misleading market conducts. So that is competition authority. More concerned with competition and any misleading market, then competition would come in. KECOPAC promotes and advances the social and economic welfare of the consumer. So it is more encompassing.
I know that KECOPAC is still housed by the ministry. It's not yet a semi-autonomous government agency in full as should be.
Then we have the AG sitting on KECOPAC. And lastly, we have the PS trade representative sitting on the board.
The reason I wanted them to know that is to understand how diverse the mandate is, so that then they get to know that if someone buys bread that is stated to be 400 grams, and they feel that that 400 grams is not 400 grams, they may raise the complaint to your committee. But if also someone goes to a facility, a health facility, whereas they are regulated by the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, and they are not satisfied with the service they have gotten, or let's say the pricing and stuff like that, then they can well raise the complaint with KECOPAC, because through the representative of the Kenya Medical Association member on the board, they will get redress, or they will get to be attended to. It's very important for us to understand that. Currently, it would be important to let the audience know where you are found and how to contact you, because I know I'm going to be getting into the questions here, and I know they will have a ton of questions. Where do we get KECOPAC? How do we reach KECOPAC? Does KECOPAC have offices across the country? Are they also devolved? Tell us.
Thank you. Thank you, CS. Before I answer that question, I just want to add on the question about the membership.
Yeah.
That
sorry. Yeah, we'll
while
have the team attend that.
While the membership is 11.
Yeah.
Out of the 11.
Yeah.
After they've been inaugurated by the CS.
Yeah.
They are. They choose a chairman.
Yeah.
And the chairman is chosen out of the 4 of the consumer organization bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the composition, and we have a chairman who is normally elected
by the team.
After they've been inaugurated.
Yeah.
Where we can be found, yes, we are hosted at Weights and Measures Complex in South Sea, Peponi Road.
Yeah.
We have an email address, ceo@kekopark.ke.go.ke.
Okay.
And we do not have offices in the counties. We are not, in other words, we are not devolved. So we are simply in Nairobi at the headquarters, but you can get us on the email if need be.
Okay. The Weights and Measures complex on Peponi Road, that's part of the ministry building. Peponi Road is in South Sea, just after you pass KEBS.
Kenya Bureau of Standard, before you get to Kiridi.
Yes.
Before you get to Kiridi.
So that road has a lot of our agencies. Kenya Bureau of Standards, just next, before you get to Kenya Industrial Research Development Institute. In between those two, there is the Weights and Measures department, which houses Kekopark. So Kekopark is not the same as Weights and Measures. You need to be clear about that. However, they are housed in the Weights and Measures building of Kekopark. I think that suffices, because it would be good to have our people understand, the various bits that form Kekopark as a unit. I'll be taking questions. I know we are live on both Twitter and Facebook, on both Kekopark and my platforms. I have seen that. Let's see the questions you guys have. Let's see the questions you guys have. For Madam Redemptor. Johnston Ihaji, umesema unaomba kazi. Sasa unajua siku hizi kazi ilienda mahali inaitwa Public Service Commission. So Madam Redemptor and myself here may not be very
useful.
Well, we could be useful. It's only that we don't make that determination. But thank you. You are saying unafuatilia kutoka kijiji cha Musaa, area ya Ivakale, sublocation Kambiri, Isuha North Ward, Shinyalu constituency, Kakamega County. Description of your village. Hiyo ni mzuri sana. Ndio tunajua hata tusikizwi Nairobi, inafika hadi kijijini. Thank you very much. Weavers Yundu, thank you for your words. Sarufi Mwendwa says that she hopes that after these many discussions, there is translation in terms of action that benefit Kenyans. Sarufi Mwendwa, I have to let you know that these discussions are for your good. The translation to help Kenya is to inform Kenyans. Okay? The very point of having this conversation is so that you are aware that these things exist. True. On this platform, I have hosted the CEO of Kenya Bureau of Standards. I've hosted the CEO of the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency. I've hosted the CEO of the Micro and Small Enterprise Authority. Today we have with us the CEO of the Kenya Consumer Protection and Advisory Committee. The essence of these conversations is not just for conversation's sake. It's for information. I would be disappointed if tomorrow you ended up feeling that some service you've been given is not worth what you paid for, and yet we've had this conversation and you are not keen to know where the Kekopark sits, where they can be found, how you can be assisted, what your rights are. If you don't know your rights, you don't even know what to claim. So the very essence of these conversations is to ensure that you are informed. All right? So that's that. Very important conversation. Thank you, Waziri. Thank you very much, Kola Onyango. I like that. I know there are also conversations going on Twitter. Let's see what the Twitter guys are saying, because Facebook guys are waking up from yesterday's problem. Yeah, the one question that had been asked was about what the rights are, and Kamau Pasha had asked about which consumers. I think that's now very well defined. And of course, Kamau, you say that you hope there are no funds used in the search for consumers by GOK. We guarantee you, consumers, are born in Kenya. So we don't look for them. We just want to assist them. Okay? Joseph Kimanzi, you say consumer protection in Kenya is very poor. It's poor to the extent that you may not know what consumer protection is about, which is what we are trying. We are bridging that gap to ensure that first you know that there is an agency mandated towards consumer protection, and that secondly you are aware where they are based, and thirdly that you understand what your rights are and how you can seek redress for that. Thank you very much. I think that's about it. What are the initiatives that KECOPAC currently has instituted or has in place towards ensuring that people know more about KECOPAC? Are you having any initiatives? Do you get to do meetings? I know you are a very lean organization, so definitely the challenges that come with being a lean organization are there. I'm aware we have a Twitter handle where we can be reached, KECOPAC_KE. That's one of the initiatives that are in place. Are there any other initiatives that are existing? I'm aware that you have discussions on mainstreaming and refining the role of KECOPAC. What are the initiatives?
Yes, thank you. True, we are very lean, but we get a lot of support from the State Department of Trade.
Yeah.
Anytime we have an activity that we need to carry out, we reach out to the other departments in the State Department of Trade.
Yeah.
And we are doing quite a bit of initiatives in terms of in case there is an activity anywhere.
Yeah.
Like we have the Kenya Innovation Week coming in December.
Yes.
And we intend to participate in that forum.
Good.
Where we will inform the Kenyans that will be coming and the world at large our existence and what we do.
Yeah.
We started off in developing the national consumer policy,
Okay.
which we hope that we should be able through with it, so that it is able to give directions in terms of policy
Okay.
on matters of consumer protection.
Yeah.
We engage with stakeholders
Yeah.
in consumer protection, like the regulators, Competition Authority, Communication Authority, the EPRA. Now on matters of fuel,
Yeah.
we are reaching out to them to engage them in terms of the fuel prices that are up.
Yeah.
And so we do quite a lot, even though we are lean, Mheshimiwa.
Okay. Thank you very much. I know these people are very happy when you say you are reaching out to EPRA on issues of
the fuel prices.
Fuel prices. Yeah. That must be making them happy. If a consumer feels that these rights have been violated, are they able to bring a case for the violation of consumer rights, and what is the best procedure? That's Rolex Wasonga Gore is saying he's listening from Mrongo in Migori County, and he's asking, should a consumer feel that the rights have been violated or infringed, are they able to report the case of violation of these rights, and what is the procedure of reporting this violation of rights? Yes,
they have the right, and they can report this right to CEO, the email that I gave, ceo@kecopac.go.ke.
Yeah.
And then KECOPAC will pick up with the relevant regulatory authority that is concerned with that violation that the consumer feels aggrieved with.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I think that explains it. I need to put down what the the email address is. So for those for you who has for Gore, Rolex Wasonga, if you have any complaints, I'll be putting down there the email that you can reach out on. It's CEO, CEO at Kekopac, KECOPAC, CEO at kekopac.go.ke, CEO at kekopac.go.ke. Should you have issues to raise, or you feel violated, or you want to make a report, that is the email for you to use. I'm just still looking for these questions. Austin Okeyo. What about the rogue employment agencies who con job seekers? Do they reach out to the agency responsible? I think for this, Austin, the right place to go would be the National Employment Authority.
Yes.
We have the National Employment Authority, which sits in the Ministry of Labor and Social Services, and under the State Department for Labor. The National Employment Authority is to ensure that there are fair practices at the workplace, that you are treated right, and that your rights are not infringed upon. So that would not be under the purview of Ms. Redempta Oyeyo. Rather, it would be under the purview of the National Employment Authority. And the National Employment Authority sits in Kasarani. So please be sure to visit them or check them out, nea.go.ke. Check them out. Richard Kibet is saying that prices in some supermarkets are different from the paying till. What are you doing about this? Richard, that's not very clear. Kibet, you may need to write down what is the difference. What do you mean that prices is different from the paying till in the supermarkets? Is it different from the prices elsewhere? What are the differences, and in which supermarkets? That would interest us. So write that down in the comment section, and then we will seek redress for that as well. But for example, in the situation like Kibet, I tend to believe he's trying to say that the prices as he knows them may be different in a supermarket as it is from the other retailers. What happens in the event that there is such a huge discrepancy in pricing? Do you step in? Is it something they can report to you?
The prices in different...
Of a similar product?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yes, we have a free market.
Okay.
Yeah. So as a consumer, just look out, do your shopping well, and look out at where the prices are fair.
Yeah. But if if this glass costs 100 shillings here, and somebody else sells it for 350, would we consider that free market, or would we then protect? Do we have limits within which retailers can sell without looking like they're now infringing on the rights of the consumer?
I guess that would fall under competition authority.
Okay.
Yeah, but still at the same time, I think we are no longer controlling prices.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, but that would fall under competition authority. But from what I'm getting, the understanding,
yes,
I think it is you go take a product from the shelf, thinking it's 100 shillings, and then when you go to the till, they tell you they tell you it is 150.
Yes.
I think that was my understanding, unless it's has he commented again? No. Unless it's different. But that is my understanding, that you go pick a product from the shelf, you see the price is 100, you go to the till, and you when they give you the receipt, it is 150.
Yeah, because he's saying I wanted to mean price in the counter is different from the payment point.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Is that ours?
Yeah, that would fall under competition authority.
That would fall under competition authority. So Kibet, as you have heard Madam Moyeyo saying, that falls squarely under the purview of the competition authority. I am seeing Fikirini Jacobs has written, pardon me for ignorance, Comrade David Osiany, is Kekopac directly responsible for the sugar importation that brought about many issues, threats for that matter, over the alleged mercury? How did it go? How prepared are they as a committee in ensuring that such flagrant threats are addressed beforehand? I'd address this and no. Kekopak is not is not the one to blame for the sugar issues we had. The sugar issues fall under different agencies. So there are bits that would fall under the Ministry of Agriculture, there are bits that fall under us, and not as agencies to blame. Rather, agencies that were helpful in capturing issues like the high levels of mercury and intoxicants that were in the sugar. For example, the Kenya Bureau of Standards was responsible for testing and ensuring that they flagged out those sugars as having extreme levels of mercury and stuff like that, Fikirini. I hope that explains it very well, so that you don't lynch Kekopak for for what they have not done.
Yeah.
What are the career opportunities at Kekopak? John Tolo is asking. I would ask that you logged into the website of Kekopak. Our website is kekopak.go.ke. And find out if there are opportunities and check out for them from time to time. But as I said, nowadays, opportunities of employment have been domiciled at the Public Service Commission. All right? So check out both. Check out both. Goes Desire Andenda. We need the agency to be vocal on mainstream media and to do mass awareness on their mandates. Let them wake up from sleep. We are being squeezed by mega supermarkets and manufacturing companies. Goes, I think you need to appreciate that this platform is first an attempt at the agency to be known, for you to know what they're doing. Now share and spread the word. Tell guys about what Kekopak is doing, who Kekopak is, how you think it is impactful, how they can seek redress in case they feel they're squeezed or they are being taken advantage of. So yes, they will do mainstream media stints, which we also hope to help organize, as you realize and know that a lot of the privately owned media agencies, you have to pay for airtime. All right? They can give you airtime once in a while, but you have to pay for airtime. And so there would be constraints in that manner also. Do we use most of the funds to be on media or to push for our mandates? It's always a constant balance. But initiatives like the Biashara Tuesday initiatives that I host here are for you to listen from the highest level possible, from a ministerial level through myself, from the agency level through the CEOs we host like Ms. Redempta Oyeyo. So that's important for you to understand. And I hope you appreciate it. Let's see if there is another question. Thank you. James Kabaraka says, this is very informative. Thank you to CEO and CAS. We are grateful, James. Questions on Twitter. Osiany Magi is saying it's great to listen to what Kekopak is doing. We are grateful. Ore Isaiah says, I also need to be hosted one single day. Having a face-to-face conversation with you is not too much to ask for. Isaiah, your message is home. I will afford you a face-to-face in good time, God willing. It's well noted. I think those are the questions that we have. So good. I think that's fair enough for our listeners. Are there plans for expanding Kekopak to the counties?
Maybe not soon.
Not soon.
Not soon. Maybe we should be planning to expand it first of all.
Yeah.
From the headquarters.
From the headquarters.
Yeah.
To make sure that its mandate
is being
is
executed
much flawlessly.
Yes.
Much flawlessly. Yes. Unless we have any other questions, or Madam Redempta has other additional things to say. I'm seeing Steve Ochieng. The question has been answered. That's on Twitter. And on Twitter, we are using our hashtag Biashara Tuesday. Twitter is alive, so we can take the questions. Is there any other information that you think the audience needs to know about Kekopak and its mandate?
Okay. CS, thank you. I just want to let the consumers, who are all Kenyans, to know that consumer protection makes markets work for both businesses and consumers. So businesses, from our point of view, are required to adhere to certain conducts that do not create unfair trade practices. So the consumers should be aware of that. Consumers need to be able to obtain all the information that they need to know, which is not unbiased, about the products and services they are purchasing, so that they make informed decision on where and on what to purchase.
Yeah.
And therefore this will enable them to make the best choices based on the interest, and prevents them from being mistreated or misled by the businesses. So we are calling upon the consumers to know that their rights are protected by the Constitution, and therefore businesses should adhere to those rights. In case anybody has a complaint to make, reach out to us at Weights and Measures South Sea, like we have said, and we'll pick it up with the relevant regulatory authority.
Yeah, or
to
send
address.
an email to CEO at
CCO at kekopac.go.ke.
And should they want to make a call, is there a number through which they can call us on? Do we have an office number, or the best is to use Gmail, Julius?
Do you have we don't have an office number, CS.
Yeah. I know it's lean, so I mean, of course, if you are to call, you have to call the ministry.
The ministry, and we are far. We are not connected to the ministry.
But I think what we do, because we are in a virtual world, a digital world, the email works best, and tabulate everything you need a solution for. So don't do an email and leave it haphazardly. But also, I know that Kekopac is on Facebook, and Kekopac is on Twitter. And you can send messages to those digital platforms, the social media platforms, and they will all be dealt with. I think if there is no other question, ladies and gentlemen, we will conclude our conversation. Let me just check if there is another question from our online viewers. Our online viewers. No, I don't see any other questions. Thank you. John Pitt says, good job, sir. Thanking God for a youthful leader. We appreciate. Eddie Odira, talking of prices, there is much more that needs to be done. People must stop making supernormal profits. It doesn't make sense when a normal shopkeeper sells an item at 100 shillings with a profit. The same item is bought from the supermarket at 145. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Eddie, for your words. I think this is also where we have noted that there is a mandate for the competition authority to ensure that the pricing is done and done right. But I also just hope that as we develop the National Consumer Protection Policy, it would be able to capture a way in which price controls or consumer protection would look at things like prices. I know that we are a free market, and so anyone can sell anything for whatever much the prices is. I think we will have that captured. That is well noted. Can you host forex traders? I'm one of them, and I won't mind if you host me. That is Saxton. Yes, Saxton. We don't have a state agency called forex traders at the ministry. Initially, I'm going to be hosting the CEOs, but yes, as a trader, because you are a trader, forex is a very important part of international trade. We will see whether there would be an opportunity to have conversations around foreign exchange, later on after we are done with the series of the state agencies within the ministry. Thank you for that. Kevin Mark, is Kekopac responsible for the unfair quantity of product?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And like you said, just come to us and give us the complaint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope you heard that, Kevin Mark. Yes, they are. Be sure to reach out to them and give them your complaint. Juma Dan, is this Kekopac only based in Nairobi or it's countrywide? Dennis and Evans from Bumbe. I think we first answered that the Kekopac sits in Nairobi for now. However, because of its virtual presence, it is reachable. I've just read, information from Kakamega. It means that even the person who is in Kakamega did not need to go to a physical office to find redress, okay? So, yes, we are currently based, Kekopak is currently based in Nairobi only. It will establish itself there, but it is reachable to everyone from across the country on their email, ceo@kekopak.go.ke. Kekopak is KECOPAC, so that you don't write Kekopak with all K's. KECOPAC@go.ke. Thank you, Robert Mungai says, very informative. We appreciate Robert for your good words. Aidan Miskela says, great initiative. Thank you, Daktari, for your kind words. And I think that's it. That's it for our conversation today. Thank you, Madam Redemptor, for making time to be with us today on this conversation. We really hope that as much as is possible as you grow, because I know you're currently lean, as you grow, you carry Kenyans along with you and tell Kenyans through all the platforms like the Kenya Innovation Week, where you will be going to. I remember I was presiding over the fortification event in Safari Park where I found Kekopak, and you were part of it. Utilize all those platforms to speak to Kenyans about our mandate and what we do and how we do it and with whom we do it. It's been nice having Madam Redemptor Oyeyo, the CEO of the Kenya Consumer Protection Advisory Committee. Now you know about Kekopak, Kenya Consumer Protection Advisory Committee. Should you have any complaints, reach out to Kekopak. Their website is www.kekopak.go.ke. Their email is ceo@kekopak.go.ke. On Twitter, it's at Kekopak_KE. And on Facebook, they are just Kekopak, Kenya Consumer Protection Advisory Committee. Until next Tuesday, it's been glad to have all of you. And thank you for the great conversation, Madam Redemptor.
Thank you. Thank you, CS.
All right. Appreciate it.